process when it comes to the healing journey behind it. So for you, what was the healing journey behind you writing your book?
Okay, so the healing journey begins with you. Your inside, how you feel, being able to take that time of self-care and really being able to work within who you are, who you become, and being able to reevaluate what it was that was traumatic for you. But not only that, just being able to come to a place of transparency and honesty with yourself and being able to live in your truth, tell your truth, and be your truth.
That's good. That's really good. So your book is to help people regarding the narcissistic behavior, what to look out for, the signs. So for you, how long did it take you, or how did you even know that that was considered a narcissistic behavior?
That's a good question. You know, let's just keep it 100 and keep it a buck and keep it all real. You know, initially going through the phases and cycle of narcissistic abuse, you really don't know until you're out of it, unfortunately. Yes. You're living in a facade, a euphoria, a cloud. I mean, just by the tactics used, what I call is grooming. And so you're so caught up in this belief and fantasy, you don't even know you're actually living it until it's no longer exists anymore, until you're out of it. And that's when you really realize, like, what happened. You know, your intuition is telling you, like, this is deep, but you really don't know. You really don't come out of it. You really don't recognize the signs and the symptoms that, you know, what I'm experiencing is real, but you really don't come to terms and reality with regards to all of it until afterwards, until you're no longer attached. When you've gone through a period of detachment, you're no longer in a relationship, and you're off to your journey of healing.
Mm-hmm. That's deep. It's about the detachment aspect.
Right. Absolutely.
So I do want to ask, when it comes to, now that you're aware of the narcissistic behavior, have you ran into people that also deal with your story or something similar that may have had an experience about narcissistic behavior that you were able to help?
Yes, I mean, it's amazing in the year of 2026. Just most recently, if everybody never heard about the movie Dating a Narcissist, who would have ever thought at a time like having a book released in 2026? And then this is our new reality, our new normal. That now the awareness and the impact of narcissistic abuse cycle is real. Yeah. And everybody is talking about it. Yeah. I mean, this has been going on for years, but now the reality is real, and everybody is talking about it, and that's why it's become more awareness and more apparent. And just in conversation, I have people in general, when we talk about relationships or marriage or partners, they're like, you know, he or she was showing those signs that I really didn't know what it was, but in our spirit and our discernment, you know, we knew something was, the math wasn't math. There was something wrong, off about the individual, because the reality of it is that we want that perfect relationship, that unbreakable bond. We get caught up in our stereotypes and statistics, especially me as a Black woman in my 40s and transition 50, single. What? You know, everybody looking at you, turn their nose up like, oh, she can't get a man or keep a man, or she can't stay married. No, not the case. But you know what? That's why it's so easy for us to find ourselves trapped and wrapped up in a vicious cycle. It's venom. And it's pure evil and demonic. You know, so us as women, I'm here to empower us. You know, we don't have to live in the stereotype and the focus. We can live completely in our fullness and keep it real, whether we're with a partner or not. fall short and fall for the tactics, and it's a preparatory act actually, just so we can check the box and say, okay, I got a man.
Right.
That's deep.
Yeah.
So for you, well, for most people, they use the word confident, but for you use Godfident.
Right.
So what made you switch and add God into confident?
That's when the healing journey began. You can't evolve, you can't change, you can't improve, you can't grow if God is not in the center of it all. Okay, that's really my journey in terms of the healing process. It started with God being first in everything, every aspect of everything I've done and I do. Now my walk is different because I don't step unless God has anointed my steps and has ordered my steps, and then I will follow orders. Okay, and what we call that obedience.
Right.
Oil of obedience.
Obedience, okay?
That's what I'm talking about. So when it comes to the people around you going through the process, because it's not easy, it's a very vulnerable area, you're uncomfortable, it's a season that you're not used to. How important are the people around you as far as helping you heal, helping you know who you are, reminding you who you are in the process? How important is that?
Well, let me just say this. Let me give a shout out first and foremost to my girl, Queen Diana. In the hours and the minutes of the whole disaster, my life was in chaos and shambles. She was right there with me, through it all. I mean, we were just having that talk last night. When that girl from the block, your ride or die, the one that will stay till the wheels fall off, or we ain't got no wheels to ride, that's the one you need. You need one of those. You need one of those. Just one. And at the end of the day, oh no, she gonna let you have your cry and let you go through something, but hey, it's for a hot second. She said, I'm not gonna stand here and watch you just lose it and just, forget who you are. She was the one in my ear like, girl, yeah, I see you laying to the bed and you all going through, but check this out. You do that for a hot second. We ain't standing in that place. That's the one that you need. Not only that, you need a first lady and pastor. First lady P and Pastor Kendall. I have to add it. Let me tell you, if you don't have a covering over you, if you don't have a church something, I just cannot say whether I would be where I'm at today, having that spiritual covering, but also having a relationship and a bond and protectors. I just want to give you guys the things. I mean, oh my God, I mean, he's right there, but at the end of the day, here in the physical, if you're not spiritually connected and you physically have a church home, I just couldn't imagine this process going any different. If not reality, it would have been worse. It really is. When you have that spiritual counseling and support, and then you have that covering and guidance, and then you have that prayer. Like, they covered me, and I just want to give you guys my love and thank you, because that was part of the process too. And then, of course, my girl Diana and my girl Nikki from Seattle. Yes. Okay, let me tell you, when God put me on a journey and said, you going to Seattle, I'm like, what? I had 2 weeks literally to get my affairs in order and go. And, going to a place I didn't know where I was going, but hey, they were ordered and ordained, and the steps were written, and it was part of my journey. And I have to tell you, Nikki was my angel there, and she has become my family. Her family has become my extended family. We used to go hang out. I'll keep it real. We went out, turned up, both met at church 7 o'clock Sunday morning, like we looked up, and I'm just going to keep it real. We was up all night. that I prayed with. She prayed for me. We prayed for each other. But trust and believe, don't get it twisted. When it came Sunday, it didn't matter where we were. We was out all night. We went, slept for 2 hours, and showed up together at the house of the Lord. So let me tell you, that was a part of it too that made it different. And then of course my girl Domo, through the entire process right there. You know, I have to say, when God assigns certain people in your life, you know, I just want to encourage everyone, anyone that has been placed in your life, please do not take them for granted. You really don't know why they're there, what their role or purpose, but trust and believe. If God assigned them to you or vice versa, hey, you never know how they're going to make an impact on your life or change your life. And I love you, girl. Like you told me, I don't even want to get emotional about this right now. Hold your mule. Let me tell you, through this process right here, don't sleep on Domo, Dr. Domo. Let's be totally correct. When I came with the idea for the cover, I'm a visionary. I'm innovative. You know, I'm just blessed and gifted with an amazing mind. But when I tell you, second, first, third, fourth, look, you complete me with this process. I gave her a vision and she executed.
Wow.
Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. This is her doing. And guess what? Of course, it was duplicated to the soundtrack. Let's talk about the music. Right. Let's talk about the music. And so, therefore, it transcended to all my other projects with regards to Marriage to the Mask. And I thank you, and I'm forever grateful that you were there in the process and we vibed. You know, it wasn't even work. It was a labor of love. You know what I'm saying? It's like, let's get into it. Like, what you mean? I'm like, did you do that? Oh, we did. You're like, wait, you got to do that? I mean, this is how we can be 12, 2 o'clock in the morning and we text each other. I said, girl, are you real? Are you up? So this is our relationship behind the scenes. Like, y'all don't even know how many times we done collab on stuff. But let me tell you, the new services is the lick, any PR, marketing, whatever you have creatively, bring your idea and vision to Dr. Domo, okay? And let's give another shout out. I'm doing it break. Gotta catch up. What we in? The 15th? The 16th, what I tell you?
Ava, we don't talk about you right now.
Look. We just talk about everything. Okay, what's that?
I appreciate the accolades.
I was remember this too.
You were.
Okay.
You was in there like for real.
Right.
But
we plan all over our stuff. Let's just say that it's a labor of love.
It's a labor of love.
Thankful.
I'm very grateful for you. I don't take you for granted at all because you're like a wealth of knowledge. So,
Yes.
but I'm grateful for this moment to be a part of what you're doing. So let's talk about you. All right. So now you read the book, but you went further.
Yeah.
You went further to make a whole subject. Child.
Yes.
Have you guys had an opportunity to listen to the music? Let me tell you,
19 tracks.
12.
Well, it felt like 19.
Let me tell you, the soundtrack is aligned with each chapter in the book. It has its more in-depth detail. You know, everybody learns differently, everybody receives differently, but definitely there's a testimony in every song, there's experience, there's a story. I wanted to share it with deep depthness. So, I mean, most people don't like to read anymore. So I wanted to captivate a wide variety of audience that was going to be compelling, like however their way of learning or their way of understanding or comprehension, whatever. I wanted to touch everybody's life in a different way, whether it be through literature, whether it be through the videos. You gotta check out the videos, okay, the visuals, and then of course the music. If you listen to the lyrics, oh my God, you have to continue to listen to it over and over again. there's a story behind a story, and I guarantee even when I listen to it, I'm just so captivated, and I learned something new about the music that I probably just didn't catch in that first note, that second note, or the third note. And I just want to just further captivate the fact that track 12, I am her.
What's your favorite?
Right. I am her. Gotta find it because I actually wrote the lyrics. The lyrics for that song actually was a poem. Actually, it's my testimony. And I was actually able to collab and put it in actual song.
That's huge. Okay, so let's do a mini baby recap. So you wrote the book, you have visuals, you have a whole soundtrack. What you gonna do next?
I guess we're gonna have to do like a series, Netflix, or movie, or commercial. It's levels to this. I mean, where we go now is dimension. It doesn't. I mean, the sky's the limit. You know our Father. He takes us up to levels, to dimensions, to dimension. Like Pastor always said, like we doing this now, but guess what? I'm ready for where we're going. Our next, there's levels, there's dimensions to this. And I'm ready for the ride. And I hope all my supporters is ready too.
And I want to ask this question because a lot of people think that your pain is the end all. But for you, how did you realize that your pain was turning into your purpose? Who would have thought your pain, all your pain that you went through, literally ended up with this?
Right. Well, you know what? When you're going through it, I can say now with confidence and see what it is. Yeah, it's pain into purpose. God had a different plan. And the plan was for this time, for this season, for someone that needed deliverance, needed healing, needed something from me. You know, God always put a certain assignment, divine assignment on everybody's life. And when I realized it, I embraced it for what it is with love and open, wholeheartedly accepted the calling and the assignment.
How much time we got? Okay, cool. So, my next question is, for those that are dealing with anything that's similar to yours or just something along the lines of what you dealt with, what is one or two things that you can share with them that helped you in your journey of healing?
Number one, prayer. Having a routine every day. Recognizing your triggers for the most part. You know, changing up your routine. Don't give yourself idle time to reflect and wander. Those thoughts, those negative thoughts, they will play tricks on you, and guess what? They will set you back immediately. Being aware of the signs when they come, but not only that, recognizing what is it that you have control over. I mean, at the end of the day, we really don't have no control. But just realize that what we do have control over, and the things we don't, let go and let God.
Let go and let God.
Let go and let God.
That's beautiful. Okay, last question before we end this. Where can they find all your stuff?
King Diva Rockstarr on the IG has all my links. Of course, before you leave here today, please check out and scan all the QR codes where you can find the music. Let me just make this disclaimer. It came up last night. This book is such a special and intimate project that I'm not releasing it on Amazon, just so you know. I am exclusively selling it direct author bookstore, so you guys will definitely only be able to access the book direct by the author.
All right.
Okay, so I just want to let you know, let everybody else know. Like Amazon, yeah, they take all your coins, but guess what? You the one that put in all the work and effort, and they don't give you no kickback or no congratulations or none of that. this is really a more intimate project, and I wanted all my hands and footprint and all that over it. So therefore, even down to my bookstore, it has all my labor of love, and guess what? I want to reap all the benefits. All of them. All the benefits, okay?
So one last time, can you tell them where to find all of your things for that?
On my IG, Pink Diva Rockstarr.
Pink Diva Rockstarr. So everyone out there, IG lands. Y'all see it? And for everyone that wants all things Married to the Mask, go to her link in bio. Okay? And we love y'all.
And we out of here.
And we out.